Hello and welcome to this podcast. My name is Josh. I'm a music composer and I compose some of the music for the game Velocity Brawl.
Okay, here we go. Hello guys and welcome. Welcome to episode 95 of The Bamster Show. My name is Bam Havoc and today I'm joined by the glorious, the sexy, the lovely, the beautiful Draconis. Drac, my fellow, say hi.
I don't know how to respond to all those compliments, except to say thank you.
Well, I'm glad you didn't forget to push the button down to talk this time. Right, Drac, this is the news section of our little podcast, and we tend to run a little bit behind the time, so it's more like a recap of the news of the past week. What have we got for our dear viewers and listeners today?
Well, since you're asking what we have for them today, I'll just do a quick overview of the entire show before we jump into the news. Right after this segment, stick around for our upcoming games where we're going to talk about the various video games that will be coming out throughout the month of December. And following that, we have an interview with the guys from Velocity Brawl. It's kind of like an old school type fast-paced shooter where the projectiles ricochet off the walls, so you have an opportunity not just to shoot straight forward at your target, but to maybe even hit them around corners and whatnot. So stick around for that. But as far as news goes, well, the big topic right now is net neutrality in the US, and then looking at repealing some rules that were put in place back in, I think it was 2015, if I remember right, to kind of keep the internet open and impartial, preventing companies from doing things like charging companies or their customers to access certain content, or maybe change speeds, alter speeds to certain content. So if you're in the US, if you have not heard of this, look it up. Pay attention to this, because if you use the internet for anything, and especially if you play video games using services like Twitch and YouTube, it is possible that should these rules get repealed, you could end up having to pay a premium to access those services without any kind of delay.
No. It's not is possible, will happen. I reckon if these rules are repealed, you're going to have to pay a premium on, let's say, Warner Time or whatever have you, whichever company deals with that side of things, pay a premium to use other people's content that you want to watch. Say Warner doesn't like YouTube, Warner then hikes up the internet prices on the YouTube streaming. Whatever, that will happen. That will happen. Net neutrality is important. You cannot direct the flow of fucking traffic because of your greediness, if that makes any sense.
Well, and I would say it makes sense from a business standpoint why these businesses would want to remove these rules and have access to do things like that. You've got the cable companies here in the US that have been losing, I don't want to say losing money, but in many ways they are losing money because people are going to more internet-based services. So all they're paying for, instead of getting all the cable channels, there's a big movement here to, they call it cutting the cord, where you may still get your internet from your cable company, but you're not paying for the hundreds of cable channels and the premium HBO and all that other channels. You just get internet, and then you pay for a streaming service like Netflix that's $10 a month, or I know Disney's getting ready to start their streaming service, and I haven't seen a price for that yet, but they were saying it was going to be significantly less than Netflix. So instead of the money going to the cable companies, it's now going to these online streaming services. And it would make sense that they would want to try and put roadblocks in the way so that their content would stand out, so that you would then want to pay for their streaming service. Said from a business standpoint, that makes sense. From a consumer standpoint, that's crap. I shouldn't be limited to low resolution YouTube videos because I can't get it to come through any faster just because the cable company that services me wants to make more money.
I agree totally. I totally agree. Believe it or not, that's the setup myself and my family have got. We pay a company called TalkTalk, and we don't have any cables, anything else. We have the phone line and high-speed internet. That's all we've got. We've got streaming service, we've got Hulu, Amazon, Netflix, all the bits and pieces. And when Disney comes out, we'll probably have Disney. We don't have Sky. We don't have this this other bits and pieces that you guys have to get. All we pay for is internet, and then we pay like, I don't know, I think it's $9 or £9 for HD Ultra, whatever have you, and then Amazon's Prime and all that stuff. But then with Amazon Prime, you get added benefits when you buy things on Amazon. So that's because we're an Amazon-based family. When we want gadgets and things, we just buy it and it comes in the post instead of going to the shops and buying it. Yeah, I agree though. We should not have to pay more money because the people sitting in the cable companies want more of our monies, want more of our hard-earned dosh. But there's an old adage. If you can't beat them, join them. Look what Disney are doing. Yeah? They're creating their own streaming service. Let's face it, it's Disney. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. Why can't Warner and all the other bits and pieces actually create a actually decent streaming service? Because the ones they've got are abysmal compared to Netflix. Abysmal. Terrible compared to Amazon. Horrible compared to Hulu. Hulu's actually pretty good. I like Hulu.
I've heard good things about Hulu. My only concern with all these companies doing these streaming services is you look at this and, you know, each one, we'll just say for argument's sake, is $10 a month. Well, you've got Disney, you've got Netflix, you've got Hulu and Amazon, and you mentioned a couple others, and you're already looking at like 50, 60, 80, $100 a month to subscribe to all these services. And so I mean, I'm a big fan more of having fewer streaming services, maybe like 2 or 3 to pick and choose from, only because I know there's going to be shows on some of these different networks, and there already are, that I'm going to want to watch, but I can't watch unless I subscribe, and which that makes sense. However, how many different ones can I really afford to subscribe to? You know, I'm going to want to subscribe to Disney when it comes out because obviously it's Disney, and the Marvel shows that are on Netflix are going to be moving to Disney. Plus, they're supposed to be doing their own live-action Star Wars show, which I'm totally excited about. Netflix, my family's used to that, and there's a bunch of shows that my wife and my daughter watch on that. Hulu has got some new shows, the Runaways from Marvel. That's another show that I'd like to check out. So the problem with all the different streaming services is getting maybe spread a little bit too thin, is what I worry about.
That is totally legitimate to think about that. Sorry, let me slow you. And that is a legitimate concern, right? Too much too much dilution in the water and all that jazz, right? But here's the crux of it all. I will gladly pay £100 a month for my streaming services. And do you know why? No adverts that take 15 minutes to freaking go through, right? Hate adverts with a passion. Absolute passion. When I click on a show to watch on Netflix, I get the show. I don't get interrupted with stupid adverts about razor blades or silly adverts about shoes or crap that I don't give two hoots about. I don't have to deal with adverts. So this whole net neutrality thing needs to stay neutral, because I'm going to be forced down the advert pipeline because of this, because they want to sell you things. I hate adverts. I'd gladly pay £100 a month for my streaming services to watch what I want to watch when I want to watch it. I hate adverts. I loathe adverts.
You know, that's actually an interesting point. And hearing you say that made me think of something that I almost am afraid to put it out there. Just on the weird off chance that one of these cable companies hears this and runs with the idea. But what if they sense that kind of streaming service running on their network and they interrupt your streaming service with their own ads?
Evil.
That's a tinfoil kind of thing.
Oh, that's big tinfoil, bro. Big tinfoil. That's evil, man. Evil. That would be. I'd be super pissed if that was the case. I'd probably just cancel my subscription to that service, and then I'd just proper go offline. Done. I loathe adverts. I get bombarded enough with adverts when I go onto YouTube to watch my YouTube channels. And no, I don't believe in ad blocker when it comes to YouTube. I get bombarded with adverts when I'm watching normal live TV, normal radio stations, and when I walk down the high street in the UK. Everyone, man, woman, child, dog, cockroach, is trying to sell me something, and I don't want any of it. If I want something, I'll go and get it. I'll do some research on it myself, and I'll go and get it. But holy shit, adverts. That's where this is going to end up. Net neutrality equals more revenue via adverts, because that's how these companies make it. Not just from you paying the subscription, but because advertising companies and people want you to sell stuff, will then pay advertising companies to buy airspace, blah, blah, blah. Long story short, net neutrality means more adverts. Net neutrality means less adverts. A non-neutral net means more adverts. That's how I look at it.
Well, and it's funny you bring up YouTube and advertising, because one of the other things I was reading up on that I actually just saw today is I guess YouTube has halted all ads after some big companies have pulled their advertising from the streaming service because of advertisements showing up against really inappropriate content that probably shouldn't even be on YouTube anyway. The stuff I was reading said it was like scantily clad children, and there were like all kinds of comments from different pedophiles and stuff like that. But then there were, there were adverts showing on that comment as well. And as soon as that was pointed out, I think it was by the Times, a lot of these big companies, some of them liquor companies and other things, were like pulling their advertisements off of it until they're told that, or that they can be guaranteed that this kind of thing isn't going to happen again.
Again, adverts are starting to rule the content I watch. One of the reasons why I hate adverts. The thing about and when it comes to us, right, and our YouTube channel, right, this isn't news. This has been going on for a while, called the adpocalypse. Thanks to a certain very famous YouTuber who shall remain nameless, PewDiePie, there's been a few, hot snot drama, whatever, alerts with him. And essentially, content has been demonetized, ours as well, as far as all I can figure out, is because we keep mentioning the US president. I'm not going to say his name because that's an instant red flag. God knows why. Not to defend anything that he had done. I don't. What he had done was definitely not right. And no. What he did was wrong. I agree.
It was absolutely wrong, but it was not at this level. Like, I mean, this is some pretty freaky stuff.
What Pewds did was wrong. Yes, I agree. He did it to prove a point, and the point was a valid point to prove. The way he went about it perhaps wasn't the best way, but he's only human. People do things that doesn't matter. This content, you're right, shouldn't be on YouTube. And for ad companies to pull out just based on these channels is a stupid move, I think. It's short-sighted, narrow-mindedness. What they should then go ahead and do is say, right, well, this content's on YouTube. YouTube, do something about it. And then, particularly when it comes to pedophilic sort of content and, violent sort of conflict and stuff like that, well then, pull the videos. Kill the channel. Surely there is algorithms out there that can sense this sort of stuff. I mean, there's algorithms out there that flag us and prevent us Bamster guys, from showing our videos on YouTube and stuff. I mean, shit, my airsoft videos were flagged because it was violent. I was shooting people. That's the point of airsoft. That's the point of paintball. That's the point of many things. How is that a violent? Yeah, never mind. So yeah, it's a tightrope these people at YouTube got to walk on, and it's an interesting one because I'd like to see where this lands. Because right now the YouTube guys are bowing and bending over so far that they're sticking their own heads at their asses and can't see freaking daylight because they can't see the path through the forest. You see?
Well, and I can see how it may be difficult for them to try and police all of the content that gets put up there on YouTube, but yeah, it's just kind of scary that this stuff is so easily available out there like that.
The thing is, honest to bloody God, all they need to do is hire me. I will watch videos and I will flag inappropriate content. Jesus, hire me. I will do it. Holy moly, wasn't this the idea of YouTube Heroes, the YouTube Hero thing, where they induct people for free to monitor content? Where'd that go? That was unpaid. That was an unpaid internship, as far as I could work out. Where'd that go?
I mean, if you look at the metrics on how much video is uploaded to YouTube, even in just the span of 10 minutes, it's an abnormally large amount that even a small group of people. There's no way that a small group of people will keep up with.
Yeah, to be honest, what I just said there was a bit silly as well, to be honest. But surely YouTube can hire people, pay them, minimum wage to watch videos. Surely they can put them. See, enough people to watch all their content. Might be a small country, right? But surely they can do enough to at least police the content well enough that these pedophilic, violent stupid shit. I mean, I watched a video on YouTube, of a guy jumping off a freaking radio tower in Africa. The poor guy bounced. He was high off his face with coke, smack, weed, whatever he was smoking, and he bounced. That's still on YouTube today. That was on Facebook as well. It's like, oh God, really? God, really? Yeah. It's a train wreck.
One better. It was the guy, I think it was in Russia, that set his pants on fire and jumped off a building into a snowdrift.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, that was entertaining. Never want to go to Russia or drink vodka with pants on near snow.
Well, speaking of cold places, I think you had something about CCP games.
Right. Yeah, I knew you'd bring that up. Right, yeah, this is a topic that G found actually, because I've been underwhelmed and under-enthused when it comes to this little developer, and I really do. I love this developer ever since I started playing Dust 514, and I was surprised to see this article. CCP Games are looking for a community developer for Project Nova. The description of this job title as Community Developer for Project Nova, Reykjavik, Iceland, alright, reads like this. Are you ready for the adventure of a lifetime? CCP is looking to bring an experienced social media and community developer specialist to the build. Oh good God, so Project Nova, from what I can tell, has gone so far that they actually need a community developer, which means Project Nova is actually an actual game, at least in ethos, you know, in the ether sort of thing. So they need a social media person, and I can think of no one other better suited for it than Red Cape, if that was me, if she's looking for a job over in Iceland. But, you know, because Red Cape, really, she's a good developer. So is Chicken Wing, one of the best community developers ever. You really, that guy can wade through a fucking 4 miles of shit, and he can come out smelling of roses. That guy can dodge, duck, dip, and dive, and dodge like a pro. Oh, right, anyway, I'm not joking. I could not stop laughing when I saw this. A bit cold-hearted, yes, knowing that Atlanta and Newcastle have... Well, Atlanta's been shut down, Newcastle's looking to be sold. Me doing that, but it's just gonna... To me, it just seems like the same old, same old. As with Dust 514, as with Valkyrie. They build a game because there's a market for a game. First-person shooter in EVE. And it's going to be a cracking game. Brilliant community, you know, with the right amount of salt and the right amount of toxicity to keep people interacting with the forums, the people, the players, the game, you know, the whole bang shoot, right? Bear in mind, Project Nova is Dust 514 reincarnate. Now, I could never put my finger on the pulse of why Dust 514 was so successful, and I know what it was now. It was the toxicity of the community that kept people playing, kept people intrigued to see what's happening next. I can see, I want to make a prediction, but you know, this is all in hindsight and far future silliness, right? I honestly think that it's going to happen like it happened with Valkyrie. They build a game because there's the demand for a game and there's a market for it. 2 years down the line, they're going to shit can it. Because the market's no longer there, the interest's no longer there, and you know, we all know that CCP are a bunch of Ferengi. If there's profit to be made, they'll go for it. Right now, the profits in mobile phone media, that's where they're heading. There's still profit to be made in the first-person shooter genre. They're going for it. You know, Battlefield, Battlefront, Call of Duty. Now for an EVE Online first-person shooter where your decisions really matter. If they really wanted, if they really want Project Nova to matter, they'll connect it to the EVE market. Done. That will make the game matter because one, it'll crash the EVE market, it'll upset a whole lot of EVE pilots, and they'll have to keep working on the game to make it fit into the EVE universe, rather than having a standalone first-person shooter like Dust 514, a standalone cockpit fighter like EVE Valkyrie, and Spark, you know, Tron Tennis. So that's just my sort of silly ramblings, my instant thoughts about it. I have not gone deeper into this, and as a joke, I'm actually serious about considering applying for the job. and just seeing what email response I get. Yeah, piss off, Bam. You're a twat. That's the response I'll be getting. It's like, go away, Bam. We know you're a troll. So I need to know the specs of the game because I will buy a PC for this game to play it. But here's the kicker. Because I've got a PC, I don't have to play Project Nova because there'll be other games to play on it. PC I'm talking about. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I want to know if they're going to go into the free-to-play first-person shooter market similar to Planetside, which is scarily similar to Dust 514 and scarily similar to EVE Online with the factions and the way the market's built and whatever have you. So I reckon it'll be a good contender there. Anyway, that's rambling. That's my silly rambling. CCP Games is hunting profit because it's a corporation that has to find profit, and profit is their bottom line. That is it. Regardless of anything else, profit is the bottom line. If they don't make money, the company dies and withers, and EVE Online is the main source of all this money, profit, to help us get Valkyrie, Dust, Spark, Nova, all those bits and pieces. So yeah. Profit. Money.
I can't say I know that much about Project Nova yet, other than a couple of little clips I've caught online, and I know at least what they were saying. The plan was is that it exists in the same universe as EVE. It wasn't going to be directly tied in with anything. The couple of screenshots I've seen make the game look pretty neat. I definitely would like to see a little bit more, especially some gameplay video, or hell, even get my hands on a beta copy.
No, trust me, Drac. I'm warning you now. I want to say stay away because every fiber of my being says stay away from Nova. But my heart says, Bam, play it. Tell Drac to play it. But the second I do that, you're going to become a salty, bitter, twisted troll that I am because of what will happen to you. You know, so that is a step you're going to have to make on your own, mate. I'm not going to force Nova on you. You're going to have to find out yourself, mate.
Well, and on that note, I guess we'll close up this section of the show and stick around for after the break. We'll be back with the upcoming game segment.
Yes, guys, sorry it was a bit of a downer. We started quite high, you know. Net neutrality, bit of a funny topic, you know, people being greedy. And we started on a topic that Drac thought was current news, but you and I all know the apocalypse is still going on and YouTube is still being YouTube. Thank you, YouTube. Demonetize. And CCP is looking for a community developer for Project Nova. Yay! Yay! This is gonna be fun.
My name is Vanelli. I'm from Boolean Technologies, and expect to see Velocity Brawl whenever it's done.
Hello guys, and welcome to the upcoming game segment. My name is Bam Havoc, and yes, I have a slight cold, but let's not get down on that. Guys, let's get straight into it. On the 1st of December, boys and girls, Doom VFR releases on the PlayStation 4 and HTC Vive. Doom VFR is a unique experience based on the recent reboot to the franchise, which was released in 2016. On the PlayStation 4, the game can be played with either the traditional Digital 4 controller and the Move controllers. So, yes guys, the VFR bundle, or VFR PlayStation VR bundle should be available on day of release. Also, 1st of December, and this is the only Nintendo game I'll mention for Drac's case before he shoots me in the face past with many things, is Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Xenoblade Chronicles 2 takes place in a world where the last remnants of civilization live on the backs of huge massive beasts called Titans. Yes, I'm interested. On the 5th of December, boys and girls, it is Dead Rising 4, Frank's Big Package. PlayStation 4 only. Frank's Big Package brings Dead Rising 4 to the PlayStation 4 and all its downloadable content. So if you like you some Dead Rising 4 zombies, go get it and play some zombies, boys and girls. Also on the 5th of December, guys, Destiny 2 Curse of Osiris. PlayStation 4, PC, Windows, Xbox One, not Macs, not Nintendo Switch. Bungie is starting its first expansion series, guys, with Curse of Osiris. They did some live streaming in November, you know, to sort of hype up the release. Let's hope this is a step in the right direction, because I'm not buying Destiny 2 till at least year 2. Yeah, then I get all the bits and pieces for free. Guys, also on the 5th of December, boys and girls, it is The Walking Dead, the Telltale Series Collection. PlayStation 4, Xbox One. The Walking Dead Telltale Series will include the seasons 1, 2 and 3, a new frontier, all that bits and pieces. If you want you some zombies, go get you some zombies. You know, because everyone likes zombies. On 12th of December, boys and girls, yes, I am doing this chronologically instead of stepping out of place because Drac likes things chronologically. It makes sense, but it's kind of boring. Anyway, Fallout 4 VR, guys. PC, Windows, not Linux, not Macs, no PS4, no Xbox One. It all comes out, right? So if you want you some Fallout 4 VR, Bethesda's gonna get that thoroughly milked udder. Go get yourself some of that. So there's a Fallout 4 VR on the 12th of December, boys and girls. Also on the 12th of December, PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds Xbox One. It is coming to the Microsoft Xbox Game Preview Program. So if you like you some PUBG, go get you some PUBG. Personally, I quite like Fortnite. I have still got to go and play me some of that. Fortnite, yeah. Let's carry on. So guys, 12th of December, as well as PUBG release, will be Resident Evil 7, End of Zoe, and Not a Hero. PlayStation 4, PC, Windows, Xbox One. You know, if you like yourself, it's Resident Evil. I've really lost confidence in the franchise myself personally, because you know, it just became I want to say it became like Final Fantasy-ish and stuff. But I like the movies. Movies are good. So yes, Resident Evil 7, End of Zoe, and Not a Hero. 13th of December, boys and girls, will be the Final Fantasy Ignis. PlayStation 4, Xbox One. You see what I did there? See what segue I did there? See the segue? See the segue? Yeah. Sony showed a new trailer of a last story expansion due to the pre-show Paris Game Week, all that jazz. So if you like yourself some Final Fantasy, I know my wife does, so if she sees this, she already sees it, she wants me to get the game for her. So I'm probably going to be watching her play Final Fantasy. Yeah, that's gonna be good. 13th of December, boys and girls, also Star Wars Battlefront 2, The Last Jedi Season. PlayStation 4, PC, Windows, Xbox One. With the recent controversy with regards to loot boxes, I reckon, many troubled things. So yes, go get yourself some of that. Just, please, guys, please, one thing I thoroughly recommend before you go and buy any video game that you actually get yourself interested into, please do some research into the game, particularly when it comes to the whole loot boxy bits and pieces. I want to do a bit with Drac myself, all about this whole loot boxing and give you our opinions, because I don't think it's as bad as people make it out to be, personally. But you know, it's pretty bad. It is pretty bad. I'm not going to hide behind any illusions of no, it can't be that bad. It's pretty bad, but you know, let's just see where this rabbit hole leads us. So please, guys, when you guys go and buy a video game that you guys want to go ahead and play, please do some research into it. Please go ahead and just research the game, research the developer, research the publisher, because 9 times 10 it's the publisher wanting to open your wallet. You know, and take out the extra $5 that you were going to spend on Coke and chips or the beer you were going to drink while you were playing, because the developer wants that beer, you know. So yes, guys, thank you very much. That was the upcoming game segment, guys. Please sit back, enjoy Velocity Brawl. Myself and Drac, mostly Drac, discuss Velocity Brawl with 3 developers. Yes. It was Garfolk's nice when we actually recorded this. See, there were masses of fireworks going off around me. It was bad planning on my part. It was terrible, my part planning. But Drac managed to corral all these cats and get a pretty good interview out of it. Guys, thank you very much. My name is Bam Havoc. I'll see you in the next segment. Tara?
Hi, my name's Josh. I'm a music composer and I make music for the best game of all times, which is Velocity Brawl. Also follow my SoundCloud.
Hello guys, and welcome to the C Block. I'm glad most of you guys have managed to stay and listen to us bleed your ears dry. Today, joining me is Drac. You know, the Drac guy that has a horrible voice. Today, we're going to be discussing a few bits and pieces, a game called Velocity Brawl, and Drac. Introduce yourself, mate.
Well, hello. I'll save you the funky voice alterations this time around.
Oh,
But
praise Jeebus.
but with us today, we've got some guys from Boolean Technologies, Will, Vincent, and Josh. Guys, say hi.
Yo, what up?
Hey,
Hi. Right.
Right, Boolean Technologies. Guys, welcome to our humble little podcast. Tell me, how many of you guys are there?
About 27 of us.
Why so many? That seems like a management nightmare.
Well, the thing is, we're all doing this in our free time. Thus, we kind of need quite a few people to keep stuff going at a steady pace. That's the real reason at this point. But not all of them are completely active. There's about only 19 or to 20 of us that do stuff actively on the project.
But 19 to 20, that still seems like a fairly big number to sort of wrangle to get something done. It must be quite a few late nights, I imagine.
Yeah, in reality, even though there's 20 of us active, there's about 5 of us that are constantly working on the project at one time. So it's not like everyone's working really hard all at once. It's slow and steady kind of work that we're doing.
yeah, bits and pieces.
Yeah.
Well, for the
Okay.
three of you we managed to get here today, how about you go just take turns one at a time, introduce yourself and what you do on the project.
Will, you want to start?
Sure. I'm Will Granda. I'm the project lead, creative director, and I do some level design as well. You want to go next, Vincent?
Yep, sure. My name is Vincent Finelli. I'm the art team lead. I do sound design, video editing, graphics, jack of all trades really, and mostly right now I'm doing the soundtrack for Velocity Brawl and some textures.
Yeah, I am Josh. I'm a music composer, and I compose the melodic music for the Velocity Brawl soundtrack, including the teaser trailer and the Kickstarter video. And yeah, we have basically two types of music, the melodic music and the in-game background music. And yeah, I make the more melodic music.
So Tommy, where are you guys from? Because I'm hearing two American voices and I want to say a German accent. I'm gonna guess the Americans. One's from I'm gonna say the West Coast, and the other's from the Midwest. I'm gonna say so. Utah?
Which one's where? Which one's where?
Well, I'm gonna say you from California. You sound one of them liberal hippies, and the other guy sounds like a Utahrian. So one of them. Am I
No.
right, or how far wrong am I?
Well, I'm from the East Coast, and I think Will is in the Midwest.
I'm from Chicago, so.
So I missed that by a mile. And the other gentleman who I think sounds like a German. Dude, where are you from?
Well, I'm from Rhineland-Palatinate, and yeah, I sound a little bit British when I speak because my father is from England and he taught me English, basically.
Okay. Right. So I got 1 out of 3 right. Okay, I'll live with that.
So with you guys being from different parts of the world, and how did you guys manage to come together and form this group to make the game?
Discord. That is the place where it all started. I found these guys. Corporal Carrot, I met through a CSGO mapping community. Brodux, I approached him through a game development community, and most of the others the same way as Brodux. So that's kind of how we all met and got together.
With CS:GO, I can see roots in first-person shooters. Is that the preferred type of gaming platform or the type of game that you prefer to play, or what was the inspiration for Velocity Brawl?
Inspiration, it was actually originally called Ricochet Evolved. As a spiritual successor, actually, it would have been almost a direct sequel to the 2000 game Valve made called Ricochet. And so you can kind of see that in the game with the ricocheting projectiles. But when we started to really develop Velocity Brawl, what came to mind was Quake 3. That is a major inspiration for the game style and the way it is supposed to be played and all of that. So yeah.
Can I add to that? Velocity Brawl, it was like originally supposed to be on the Source engine, which is the engine that Half-Life 2 was made on, but there were many limitations to that engine, so we decided to switch to Unity. But that's like the main way Will found me, was because it was going to be in the Source engine, and he met me on the mapping community.
When you mentioned Ricochet, that was that wasn't that like a Tron style game or something like that?
Yeah, and that's our roots. We came from a Ricochet mod. It's supposed to be Ricochet Evolved. That's the real idea. It's not Ricochet anymore. We expanded on the idea too much for it to be anything close to a Ricochet sequel. So that's why we changed the name from Ricochet Evolved. But this art style, we're instead of going for the 1982 Tron, we're going for the 2010 Tron Legacy kind of vibe in our levels and whatnot.
Yeah, it's from the little bit of a teaser video that I saw. It looked like it'd be a lot of fun, and I love the ricocheting projectiles. That just, to me, that adds to the fun. So with Velocity Brawl, are you guys looking to focus mainly just on multiplayer, or is there going to be like single player or cooperative play, teams against teams?
So the main mode for the competitive, let me explain this. There's going to be 3 different modes, each with different game modes. So the game modes and modes are totally different in our eyes. There's going to be competitive, casual, and arcade mode. Then competitive is going to be purely team deathmatch. Casual is going to be both deathmatch and team deathmatch. Arcade is going to be a series of different game modes, such as control points, capture the flag, insta-gib, tag, stuff like that. Brodux and I and our head modeler were thinking about maybe adding a small single-player campaign to explain the multiplayer that you have to play in order to get to the multiplayer. It'd be about like a 10-minute campaign. Nothing special, but it would kind of give a backstory to the actual multiplayer itself.
So kind of like a tutorial.
Yeah, it would give you a little bit of how to use the weapon in the unique way we're using it, as well as serve as kind of backstory.
You know what that reminds me a little bit of, if you don't mind me comparing it to other games.
Yeah, go ahead.
Previous years. Yeah. Did you guys ever play Tribes?
I have not personally, but I think I've heard of it.
Yeah, I've seen gameplay of it. I think I've played a little bit with it.
Yeah, they were a lot of fun, and there was a game mechanic in there where you could, I think they called it skiing, whereas you're coming down the hill and you kind of hop a little bit. Like you could build up a lot of speed.
Yeah, I remember that. That was really fun. I was thinking of doing that, but kind of with like the walls and like sliding on walls, giving you more speed and stuff like that.
So I've seen some of the like 3D modeling that's been done, or that you guys have shown on the website. It's very impressive. It's really cool looking. How much of that do you work on as the art director, and then turn over to the 3D modeler to have him then put his take on it? So
I work directly with the modelers and the sound team, rather than the art lead working with them, just because. I have the vision, kind of. I think I condense everyone of the vision, but I work with them one-on-one to come up with these ideas, and that we kind of decided to make it the way they are, just because we think it's cool looking and all of that. So,
and I kind of want to add to that. I've been kind of learning 3D modeling, but I don't really do it, but. I mostly give them directions to go and help them out with references and just make sure everyone's on track.
So did Will just admit to being the puppet master with all the strings?
He's kind of like the master leader, kind of, to like help everyone out and see what's going on and stuff.
Well, now I heard you guys mention a Kickstarter video earlier, so are you guys already going to Kickstarter? Have you planned that out yet? Or
we're planning either Kickstarter or Fig, if you've heard of it.
Yes, I have.
Yeah, we were originally going to do Kickstarter, and then one of our developers told us about Fig, and I've been researching into that. So we're kind of borderline between either Fig or Kickstarter, but we're going to be asking for about $10,000 to help out with legal stuff, as well as kind of let's say one of us gets into an accident or they want to quit their job and work on this full time, that's what it would allow us to do.
All things considered, in today's market, I would say that seems like a pretty modest sum to ask for to get a game put together.
Yeah, we don't need much. The operational fees of the actual services that we use run us about $100 a month or less, depending on what we're using that month. But it's not that much.
Have you guys already started planning for when you do that? Because I know that one of the biggest differences between developers who've had a pretty high success rate on something like Kickstarter and developers who didn't make the Kickstarter usually has been the lead up, the work that they've done building a community, getting people interested on like a mailing list and whatnot, so that they have like a following of people prior to when they actually start the Kickstarter. Have you guys been doing much of that work already?
The reason why we're coming on here and talking with you guys about the game is to kind of help with that, to make sure we get visibility before the Kickstarter or the fake campaign. And so it's really just making sure we do have that, and we do have what we're gonna put on there planned. It's just now about the execution. And so there's still stuff to be decided, but we have a pretty good idea of what we're going to be doing.
Yeah, can I add to that? We've been adding people to our Discord, to like a section of it for like a community, and we have been building up people, and
we've got 100 people in our community right now. So there's quite a few people who are interested in the game, and we're constantly adding more people who are interested in donating and whatnot.
And also we're planning on giving like a demo of like a single level to like give people kind of a tease, and when we're done with that we would like distribute it to different platforms, but not like console yet, because that'd be way too much work. But yeah, we're planning on getting quite a bit of a following before we put up the Kickstarter.
Well, so you'd mentioned different platforms. I take it right now you're just targeting PC or you...
PC, Mac, Linux, and if we find a publisher later after release, we might go to Xbox One and PS4.
Oh, good. Will can leave, and we can actually have a conversation with the other two guys, because Will's been hogging the microphone from them two poor peoples. Bye, Will.
All right, I have one more minute.
Well, I would be remiss if I didn't ask. Plus, it's also fun to poke at BAM. Any consideration for releasing on the Nintendo Switch?
Fucking dick.
Well, probably not.
I mean, if we get a publisher though, like I don't know. That's like
well,
last.
Our game is going to be our game is going to be pretty it's going to be performance heavy, but it's going to run okay on the low end PC, but it's not going to run well on the Switch.
Yeah, I don't think it would like fit on a singular chip.
Yeah, our player model is 50,000 verts, so that's quite a bit, and I doubt it would be able to run it all on the Switch.
Yeah, mainly I ask that just to poke at Bam, because he's very anti-Nintendo. But yeah, with things like Skyrim and other games coming to the Switch, I was always curious just to see if that was something you guys had considered, especially with the indie market that they were opening up. On the note of separate platforms, this game looks like it could be fun in VR. Is that a consideration at all, or is it going to be too much movement?
Yeah, I am planning on doing like a major in computer science and computer engineering and studying VR. So that is a really big possibility.
First time I've heard of that.
But for like, I didn't really tell you this, but like, that's like the last.
VR development is very costly, and I don't think we'd have the resources. The first thing we're gonna do, if we end up making it big, we're gonna buy an office. We're gonna relocate everyone to the same place, work on another title, as opposed to trying to retrofit our game to different platforms such as VR or Switch. All right, see ya.
Cheers, Will. Nice talking to you, dude. Thank you very much for coming along to our
All right,
podcast.
thank you for having us.
Much love, dude. Love you long time.
See ya.
So you guys are going to do the Bethesda style development, where you might come back to a game you made years ago to add it to different platforms like VR.
Well, if it is successful, then like it would be in like the 1 year like after we made the game, we would probably release it for like HTC Vive and Oculus if that is the VR platform in those times.
Yeah, it seems, at least from what I've seen thus far of what you guys have released, it seems pretty cool. It seems like it might be a nice fit for something like that. And the only concern I think I might have would be the motion and how that might affect somebody who's using the headset.
Yeah, it'd be pretty fast paced, so we'd have to do a lot of work on motion sickness.
So now I noticed that on the YouTube channel is 2018 was the targeted release date, sometime in 2018 maybe. So is this one of those things where you guys are still pretty early in, so you're not really committing to a release date sometime next year yet, or?
Yeah, we're pretty early, so Will thought up with the plan of putting up a release date, which was not really good. He said quarter 4 2018, but I highly doubt that we're gonna make it 2018, and so it's probably gonna be like quarter 2, quarter 3 2019.
Oh well, I suppose you guys have the option of doing what they did with Cyberpunk. Did you see how they when they released their teaser trailer a few years back?
Oh yeah, that was like 2013.
Yeah, I know. I'm still waiting for more information on that game, but one of the cool things I thought that they did with that was at the end it said releasing when it's ready.
Yeah, that's also a good idea. Many games are doing that.
I'll tell you what, I'm going to switch gears a little bit, and I'm going to target a question straight to Brodux, because he's been pretty quiet this whole time.
Yeah.
And ask about the music that you've been putting together. What kind of inspiration, where do you take your inspiration from when you're putting together the music?
Well, Will actually approached me with some samples of the music that he wanted, and that included the title music to a TV show and the original soundtrack to Tron Legacy, composed by Daft Punk. And yeah, that's basically where I drew the inspiration from for those tracks. And yeah, basically every time he requests a track for the original soundtrack, he either has a sample track for it, or he gives me a pretty detailed description of what it's supposed to be like.
How long does it take you to put something together, generally?
Oh, it really depends, For example, the track that I did for the teaser video, it took about 2 days, because it's a mostly electronic track, but at the moment I'm doing a orchestral track, like with a full orchestra, about 50 instruments. And yeah, that took about a week to complete. Actually, it's not complete now yet. I'm still working on a few things, but yeah, basically the more instruments it takes, the longer it takes to complete.
Well, Bam, you got kind of quiet, so I tell you what, do you want to start with the beer and baking questions?
Go on then. Guys, I apologize immensely for not being involved a bit more into this little podcast of ours. There's Guy Fawkes evening, bonfire evening, and this was a bit of a poor planning on my part. Completely forgetting that the neighborhood setting off massive fireworks, like just the house across. I apologize. I really apologize. Really sorry for that. Right, gentlemen, beer and bacon question time. As always, it's a little bit of a tradition when we interview other people that aren't, us, Bamsters guys, We invite people along to chat to them, but the burning question, the main thing that everybody wants to know is the beer and bacon question. And since G is not here, since it's contracted under subsection 3, article A, reference 295, I'm having to, pass the baton over to Draconis, because he is, the third pillar, the third baconista. So Drac, ask your question, sir.
I like that. I ask if you want to ask the question, and you do this long lead up just to say you're passing it back to me.
Well, yes.
So guys, one of the things we always ask each of our guests is, what kind of bacon do you like? How do you like it prepared? And what kind of beer, cider, or other type of beverage would you like to pair with said bacon when you have it?
Okay, well, since I'm a minor, I would mostly drink some sort of coffee beverage with my bacon, and I'm kind of leaning between Canadian bacon and turkey bacon, because those are my two favorite bacons. But I usually just cook them until they're nice and crisp.
Hang on, what? Turkey bacon? Turkeys
I was
have
gonna
bacon?
say, does that actually qualify as actual bacon?
Is that bacon?
It's turkey bacon? What?
It's good. Okay.
Well, I've got to try this turkey bacon and then pass judgments upon it. I've never heard of turkey bacon. How can be bacon with bird?
Yeah,
What?
I think it's some sort of American thing.
It's supposed to be a healthy option to regular bacon, but it's just not as good.
But bacon is a healthy option to bacon. Anything more healthy than bacon is bacon. How can you be more healthy than bacon? Bacon is delicious. It's got all your essential fats and minerals. It's got protein, it's got fat, it's got carbohydrates, it's got deliciousness, it's got the salt content you need to have your synapses firing properly. What other food substance do you need apart from bacon to survive?
And how about you, Brodex?
Well, just like him, I'm a minor too, actually. So, yeah, I just like the standard bacon, probably with a smoothie of some kind. I really like smoothies, actually.
Oh, wait, it's funny you say that, because a lot of times when I have folks on and we're talking about bacon and stuff, I reference a restaurant here that I really enjoy going to. One of the things they have is a maple bacon milkshake, and it may sound like a strange concoction, but it tastes really good, and it's got little pieces of maple bacon in the milkshake.
I'm just shocked we've got two miners here. What mines do you guys work at?
Mostly the coal mines. You know, I like to get nice and dirty.
Iron mines.
All right, so the German works at the iron mines, and the Yank works at a coal mine. Fair enough.
I was expecting a Minecraft answer with that one, actually.
If they had a Minecraft question involved or answer received, I would have quite literally flown over there and given them both a slap.
All right, well, that is all the time we have this week. I want to thank the guys from Boolean Technologies for joining us on this episode, and I definitely look forward to getting my hands on Velocity Brawl when that comes out.